Hello there, this is Jaswinda Chally, and this is my day 2 of self-isolation. And yeah, it's been a day of a lot of reflecting and more reflecting and more reflecting. And it is Mother's Day today as well, and so obviously I was thinking about my mother, I was thinking about myself as a mother, and I was thinking about the Divine Mother. I was thinking about our earth as the mother, and I was thinking about the fact that like we are pure consciousness in reality. That's what we are. And so in yoga philosophy they say that you have the pure consciousness, and then you have nature. Okay, so then the pure consciousness comes into the nature, and then there's other things that are developed, such as intelligence, and it goes further down to say about personalities, different types of person, that breaks it down more and more. And so when we are trying then to work on ourselves, we're having to go backwards. So obviously the route that we've come down is we've come from the pure consciousness, and then the nature and the intelligence and the personalities, and then we have down the line somewhere we have what you call our patterns, and those patterns become set, and then those patterns are what keeps us going round and round in circles, and those patterns are really what keep us stuck. And I have mentioned patterns in one of my previous videos as well. And so today being Mother's Day, and as I said, me thinking about mother, my mother, me being mother, the Divine Mother, the earth being mother. So I've been reflecting on all of this, and I was reflecting on nature as such, and I was thinking about the fact that we have to shift a lot of our perspective on things, and we have to shift our patterns and what is keeping us stuck, because the main underlying theme here, okay, about the nature is the feminine. So a big message today, actually on Mother's Day, about the feminine, because if you think about it, the earth has been suffocating. The feminine has been suffocating. The feminine has been, it's been suffocating so much that it hasn't had time to breathe, okay? And so with this virus, it's attacking the lungs, and the lungs is what we need to breathe. And so the message is really that we have been suffocating. The feminine has been suffocating. And when I say the feminine, I don't really mean just the female feminine. The feminine is in everybody, the men and the women, okay? The feminine side, which is our earth and the Divine Mother, has been suffocating, all right? And so here comes a virus that is attacking the lungs, the breath, and it feels like it is a suffocation from a lot of what I've heard in terms of the symptoms. And so there is a message here, a deeper message, that I feel that there is, the feminine is actually crying out. to say that there has been this suffocation, and it needs to breathe. It needs to be able to breathe. And so this is the way that it has been able to breathe, has been through the lockdown, by the humans obviously being told to recede back into their homes, not come out, giving the nature the space, the time, the space, the air, to be able to breathe. And so if the earth can breathe, then the feminine is breathing, because the earth is feminine. And if the earth is able to breathe, then, and the feminine is able to breathe, then there's going to be huge shifts coming about for the feminine. So it is also really about us understanding our patterns that we want to shift. Okay, so where, for example, if you're a female, and you need to kind of like really be able to understand as a female where those patterns are that you need to shift, that you feel you need to shift, because they have to shift. This is the time to shift them so that you can allow that energy to breathe rather than be suffocated, because this is what it's all about, the lungs, the breath, the air. So it's about allowing it to surface, that new energy, because we are going to enter into the new beginnings. And so how are we breaking those patterns to be able to shift into the new energy that is coming about, so a lot of what I was reflecting on today about my patterns and what I've been shifting and working on has been, and where I've felt suffocated in my life, has been the control of patriarchy and male domination. And that for me has been a battle. And so that, because I've been working on that for a long time now, I can actually see a lot of when it's happening. I can see male domination very quickly. I can see the masculine energy when it's trying to dominate very, very quickly. And immediately, I kind of like get that feeling of suffocation. And then I know that there is that control element there, and how I'm going to deal with it, how I'm going to work with it. So huge shifts can be made, huge shifts in terms of the patterns, okay, but it's reflecting on what are the patterns we're holding on to. Which pattern is it that we need to break ourselves on an individual level? Where is it those patterns have to go? The feminine has come a long way, but the feminine has got a long way to go yet. This time and space that we're going through now, it's actually a huge transformation that is happening hugely. And so there is that chance, that ability to be able to create some of that freedom that we get from the changes and the shifts that we make. It's not easy. I totally understand that. It's not easy. It's hard, and it requires a lot of responsibility, a lot of courage, and a lot of determination. But if you can persevere and try and carry on with courage and strength and determination, then and just keep taking each step at a time going forward, then yes, you can break through, because that's what is needed, the breakthrough. Because at the moment everything around us is breaking down for a lot of people. And when there is the breakdown, we have to see the breakthrough. If we don't see the breakthrough, then we're going to stay stuck in whatever it is we're already stuck in, and we don't really want that. We want the shifts to happen. We want the shifts to happen on a large scale, on a very large scale. And when we make those shifts happen, then we can feel that sense of freedom, which is so important right now, you know, especially for our earth. We're so connected to the earth. We're here as visitors on the earth, and being part of the earth and being in connection with the earth and the elements is yoga. You know, it's that union with ourselves and everything around us, all the elements, you know, the air, the wind, the fire, everything, the space. They're all the elements, and we are, if we're at one with all the elements, then we are in yoga, because we're in union with all the elements. And that's realistically where we need to be aiming, to be at one with all the elements, so we can be at one with all of nature and be at one with the earth. You know, we owe so much to the earth, and part of what really that we right now should be looking at is gratitude for the earth. And so I'm going to do a separate video on that, actually, because I'm going to use a technique for that to take you through. But in terms of the Divine Mother, it's important for us to connect to our own feminine and to get in touch with that deeper side of the feminine. Tomorrow is the new moon, and so again, you know, that's the feminine aspect. So the feminine aspect is also about tuning inwards. It's about going in, it's about reflecting, it's about introspection, and that is what really we're being told to do. We're actually being forced into the situation, because so many of us just have not actually been doing it voluntarily, which is, you know, what the normal process usually is, to do this voluntarily, because we know we have to do it. And when we don't, then along comes situations like this where it becomes forced on us, and then we have no choice but to change, and but to go with the changes that are being forced on us. Alright, so if you have any questions, by all means, please do get in touch with me. And yeah, so I hope the video makes sense and it resonates with you. And thank you for listening, thank you for tuning in.